maybe one, well,
Right,
one is
screw
your,
something up.
one could be expensive and one could be income.
The kids are fearless when it comes to.
15% of.
Unfortunately, they know way too much about that.
Yes, they do, so that's good, so
And,
that,
But you know what, I remember sitting in, this is a while ago, we were sitting with a group of seniors in government class and at the end of the period, and
talking here about things.
they're talking about, I said, I had them do the same thing, well, fix it. Would you please? And so they did. Gosh, you guys know so much about computers. And they looked at me and said, Coach, my fifth grade sister knows more about computers.
Right?
no, that's the scary part.
I'll guarantee my 9-year-old knows more about the technology stuff, like on the phone and stuff, than I do.
Oh, they get a hold of my phone, they turn stuff on I didn't even know I had.
Next thing you know, she's got it on the TV and playing off the phone and it's transferred to the TV. I'm like, what are you doing? I don't know how to do that. Screen shares it to the TV. Watching football, next thing you know, we're watching.
That's why I don't do banking on my phone.
Yeah,
Too many kids in the family.
we don't do any.
I have it so I can go and check my balances. Okay, and that,
Your debit card.
turning that.
All of a sudden they gotta go pick up my
Oh,
short.
how
Your debit.
I know.
You about need enough,
Yeah.
you about need an electrician now to run that stuff
You're
too.
stealing somebody's.
Yeah.
That's like that, he got
Or
it.
health, credit
He was, I
card.
like going down the highway, cause I let it veer off.
Well,
a bit,
it's my
so I
debit
could
card,
see-
so.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I kinda like those.
Maybe I should have changed it.
Come
Well,
on.
I used to not have it. Well, it used to be I used my checking account because they couldn't take too much money, but now they can take quite a bit. It's like, I may have to change things around a little bit. So here's the attorney fees, and then below that, okay, there it is.
7:00, call the meeting to order. Begin, pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I was in your guys' way, I was gonna say, wait.
We'll find a way to look around.
No, I.
We can just, we can shuffle
Is this
back.
online tonight? Okay,
Done.
This on.
All right,
Hate that
I'll
in the
entertain
face.
a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Pick one.
We don't.
Discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Public input. Hearing none, we'll move forward with the new business. The first thing on the agenda is wages with regard to new employees and lifeguards. And basically, last meeting, we approved the wages, but I think there was some special consideration wasn't given to, with regard to a new employee and also the lifeguard pay, base pay and wages that has been put in place already. So as far as the record is concerned, we need to amend or add to or make more with regard to the wages.
Okay,
know.
like on the lifeguards,
Okay,
Shayla was telling us that it's always been 2% increase every year
okay.
on that. And where we did the 3.5%, that we should probably, if we want to, we could keep it there, but if we don't, well, then we probably should lower it back down to the 2% that they normally get. You apply that to that base pay and then it adjusts all the way through.
Yeah. And it adjusts to a greater percentage the longer they have been lifeguard. That's already
Right.
put in place with regard to that pay scale.
Yeah, So if we're gonna do a cost of living, we could do just a 2% on that,
Okay,
you know, adjust it so it's that way,
Okay.
if everybody wants to do it that way.
Historically, the lifeguards have gotten 2%, whether we've gotten anything or not. That way they have an incentive to come back. So we just kind of kept it at that 2%, so if we get 1%, they still get 2%, if we get 3%. But we do have it in the budgeted at the 3.5, because that's what you voted on. So you guys can decide which way to go on that.
Right. We
So-
just felt,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
If we went to the 3.5, then the base plus 2 would be 3.5, and then it would be 7, and then 10.5? That would go on down?
Yep, each person that come back, they'd all get a 3.5. Basically, it's a 3.5% raise, yeah, each year that they come back.
Should we just, take care of those each individually this way?
I do the
Easier?
lifeguards and then do the other one, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I'm okay with either way. It doesn't, you know, it's a,
I don't feel as though we're that far behind on lifeguard wage from the base pay on. I could agree that we just do that 2% this year
2%.
from what we've done in the
Okay.
past.
I'll second that.
I don't know if anybody else has the feeling that we're not on pace with a high school lifeguard wage.
okay. Have a motion by Patrick and a second by Mike. Discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Okay.
And the other one we talked about was in the electrical department, we hired a new guy, it was Schultz. And, at the time of hiring, he's on probation now. And so he wasn't supposed to get a cost of living increase until after he passes probation. And so, when we voted, we said straight across the 3.5%. So we should probably have it so he doesn't get that cost of living increase.
Okay.
But he still gets his dollar after probation.
Yes.
Right.
He will get his dollar when he goes through probation.
Because we gotta be careful. One thing that to mention is the electrical superintendent talked to me today is we're already gonna have to do an adjustment somewhere in the electric department because the new employee started at a little bit higher wage than the current employee in that department. So if they all go through the same certifications, and we hope they do, so they all end up becoming completed linemen, the one that has less years of service will end up being paid more with all their certification raises. So we're gonna have to do some adjusting in there, whether that's just for the current employee or obviously it's gonna have to be for the current employee corrections.
Right.
Just, that is not a this year issue, that is a me bringing it up, so we do not
So we're aware of
forget
it.
about it here in 3 years, then all of a sudden, the
Yeah.
guy with less amount of
Yeah.
experience is making more than the guy that's been here longer.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing correctly, then he will not get the cost of living, which is the increase. He will stay on, at the end of probation, he would get the $1 an hour coming off probation.
Right.
period.
Yeah.
Okay?
So I think, maybe, being we did vote for everybody to get the 3.5% increase, we should probably vote tonight to, not give him that 3.5% cost of living increase.
Okay?
But
that
to
a
clarify
motion?
there, though, he is not getting paid more than the existing employee.
Correct.
No.
He's not now, not till
But
he
if we
gets all
gave
his
him-
certifications.
If we gave them the cost of living raise and then the $1 raise at the end of the probation, they would be at the exact same wage.
Right.
But if he
No,
doesn't bump
that's-
that percentage now, then he still will be less.
That's why this come up.
Okay.
Okay?
Was that a motion?
So I'll take and make that a motion.
Okay,
I'll second.
discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries.
Now, did we want to talk about the, price for with the, park? Because that
Ballpark.
would be a different, wage than what he's been getting,
Correct, that would be good.
okay? Because he was at 11.55. And we were thinking we should put him up to 17. So,
Came up with that number because by taking what the ballpark position was paying and then adding that 3.5% to that, it puts you there at 17 is how we came up with that.
okay,
And because of, the reason why it was so low to begin with was because we thought the wage was gonna mess with his retirement. That's why he elected to stay that low, but
And he's
figured
like,
out it doesn't happen. It doesn't screw with
Oh,
his
good.
retirement, so then we can actually get him to where
Get up where he needs to be.
a fair wage for that position.
And he
Right.
did come and visit with me, and we visited about the wage, and that we're revisiting it now because he's at the point where he can take more.
okay, and then for further clarification, he went with how many years that he didn't wanna?
Correct.
went
He
from-
did not want any more money because he was scared it was gonna mess with his
Yeah.
So it's gonna
retirement.
look like a big bump, but he basically worked for a little bit of nothing for a long time.
yeah.
Right.
Okay, all right, so,
I would make a motion, we put it up to the $17 an hour.
okay,
I'll second it.
discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Quick question, do I have to
Yes.
abstain since it's a family member?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm abstaining from the vote.
Okay, thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same, with the one abstention, okay? Motion carries. Anything else with regard to the, wages with regard to that?
You know, we discussed the ballpark, adjusting that, but I wonder if we wanna wait on that.
I think that position is entirely dependent on who you get to fill it.
That's exactly
I
right.
mean, you can fill that position with a $13 an hour person, or you can fill it with a
Yeah.
$17, $18 an hour.
So do
Yeah.
we need to adjust the budget in case it's a $17 person, or how would you wanna do that?
The budget looks good enough for at least a 17, cause I had Rogers 3.5% budgeted in there to make sure that that would work, so.
Okay.
And hopefully it wouldn't take quite as many hours for somebody new, because Roger did a lot of work out there that doesn't need to be repeated, but
Yeah.
again, you got somebody new that it'll take them a little more time to get used to.
Yeah.
Get a
Right.
routine.
There's gonna be a time frame there where you're gonna have two people there
Right.
during that learning process, so you're gonna be eating up more hours than.
So we just wanna make sure there's enough in the budget to cover that.
So I don't think there was any other wage adjustments or
Okay.
anything that we needed.
All right? And we're ready to move on to the 2024 budget review, which is found on pages 2 through 21.
Just a thought, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but do we wanna go through police first, since you have?
Wonderful idea.
Since you have little ones waiting?
They're so quiet though,
Yeah,
I'd like
they
to
are
see them
doing
get a little
good.
rambunctious.
That's the scary part.
I was just gonna say that. Who knows what they're into?
You haven't seen your office yet, Sheila.
Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah,
Thank you, everybody.
What page is that on? For the
police is on page 2 of the
page
expense.
2?
It should be right at the front here.
On the right-hand side, yeah. 2 of the expenses, but on page,
Oh,
I don't know what that is.
I don't see it on page 2.
It's on page 4 of the agenda.
Page, okay.
Page
Yep.
2 of the expense report.
Let's see.
There, let's go back.
there it is. It's, yeah, in the second column,
There.
about the middle.
Right here's police. Right there.
Oh, gotcha, all right, thank you.
So, oh yeah, right. How about right there where it says police total?
That's a good place.
I'll try that one. Thanks, Sheila.
I'm glad I could be of a service to you.
Very much so.
Okay,
Oh, wait.
no, that's,
I see, oh no, this is this year, sorry guys, page 4 is this year, I'm like 255, that's supposed to be 267. we'll
And I
find
should
it.
have brought my paper one with me instead of this one, that's okay though.
We've got,
There's probably one on the
Is she-
tape. Let me go see.
Yeah, I think there's one.
Sewer.
let's see, where are,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're a good man, sir.
Yes, he is.
Probably my briefcase.
Street, airport.
okay.
It's gotta
Let's
be-
go to page 17.
Oh, I just
That's the new one. I'll search this around.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
that's all right.
That looks much better. I'm kind of panicked with that 255.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no.
I thought we got rid of the police department.
No. Not on my watch.
17. I think I confused myself by bringing this other stuff with me.
This one does include the car for the police.
So it's going up roughly 77,000. With a car for 56.
Oops. Okay, let's see. Oh, I see. Oh, we were underlining the wrong ones, weren't we?
You need help, ladies?
We got it.
No, we're
Okay.
fine. Let's just say we really did a lot of time in 2023.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we should have looked at the top. Okay. This is police car. Okay. So what do we wanna do? Just go down
Well,
through these numbers, or?
I thought somebody was going to do, I would, for the record, I was not able to attend the meeting because, I did come in and go through these with Shayla, but I had a funeral that I had to be out of town for, so,
So, you want me to do?
yeah,
the
go ahead,
public safety?
Patrick.
Okay. So on behalf of the Public Safety, Department, the biggest thing to go over is, the car. Everything else is basically what it has to be, to operate. Salary went up just a little bit, but that is gonna be under the assumption that, they're planning for a lot of training, a lot more trainings and stuff like that, so that's gonna take up a little time, cause every time you do that and you have all the people in one spot on duty at once, it hits you 3 times over. But that is salary is going up, but that's a good increase.
Right.
And then, the car, that was the biggest one. It's in here under there, but us at the meeting was going to push it to the big council to discuss on if it is, if we wanna get it there. Ted can speak for the condition of the cars that are there. And then it is also under the thought that if we're thinking about we do need a car sooner rather than later, it's probably gonna take a year to get a car.
Right.
So that is something to take into account as well. Cause I wanna say the one we'd be replacing has 70,000 miles? 90, the one we're replacing would have 90,000 miles. Our other one has 70.
Yeah.
50, 70, okay.
What, is there like how many miles do you usually do that, or how many years old is the vehicle, or? Is the light on? Thank you.
Yep. The one that would be replaced is 2018.
Okay.
Okay, this way, sorry.
No, don't ever apologize for that.
Yeah.
No, don't.
And I think it's my understanding, Shayla, that the previous normal rotation would have been to get a car in '23.
Yeah, we normally do them every 3 years, but,
And it's 5 years old.
yeah.
Right. 90,000 miles. I did look at the hours, cause you had asked, and it was over 9,000. And it was a good question. I didn't think of that, as compared to
The mile.
your vehicle, you know, would probably have 2,000 hours, I bet. So, I guess one other consideration that I have, if you wait, it's just gonna cost that much more.
But if we can put it, it's probably gonna take a year, we can put it on an order, I mean, and then get it when we can get it, is,
I assume it will take a while,
What did you say before? Was it Shane that said 6 months to a year, I think?
I would say at
I think
least.
that, somebody said that in here. I don't remember who it was.
And if it does not arrive next year, we would have to go through the process again. 'cause
Correct.
I learned that
Yeah.
we cannot pay for that until it is in our possession.
But if we get it booked, at least we get it at this price.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Instead of doing it next year, and it might be 10, 15, 20% higher, who
We
knows?
settled for 25% over 5 years, so you know what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
okay.
If we get that one, can we get rid of one of the ones that we have?
Yeah, I mean, I would, the
put a-
2018, whether it replaces the old white one,
And we surplus
Or-
that one, yeah.
or, yeah, but we would have no need for 3. And
Surplus
then,
one.
I think you said if it's surplus, that just goes to the general fund.
I look at a vehicle, especially in law enforcement of any type,
Necessity.
it's a necessity, cause it's also
Yep.
becomes a safety issue too.
Absolutely.
Yep.
If you would get in a high-speed chase or, you know, whatever might be the cause, I think equipment is very important for,
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
You don't want them to have trouble somewhere when they're needing to be somewhere or something.
We're confident with that 55,000.
Have you looked at any state bids?
So I think what I got was,
A state bid?
cause, I got it in around January, February from Iverson's. They gave me an Explorer and a Durango, and it had discounts in there for law enforcement and whatnot. And the Durango's cheaper. And then that number includes the cost to equip it,
Caging it up and doing all that stuff.
yeah.
And and that number you figured was, you still had more room.
Little
Yeah,
wiggle
so
room.
I did end up getting a quote from the guy in Blunt, and it was just shy of 10,000.
So you have plenty of room in that budget figure to get everything done.
Yeah, the only thing that could throw it off is the quote I got from Iverson's was from January, February.
Right.
And so that vehicle quote for the Durango was 38 something. So if that's changed, which I'm sure it has, hopefully just not drastically, and
Right.
We'd still have enough to cover it then.
okay.
Well,
then
I would say,
the vehicle's due.
absolutely.
past due.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll make a motion that we
You got it.
approve the police budget, including the car.
okay,
I would second that motion.
discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Very good. Thank you, Ted.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Ted.
Ted.
anything else for me?
Your kids are cute.
I guess
Yeah.
he's hungry.
Yeah, he showed you his belly and the whole 9 yards.
Okay.
Have a good night, guys.
Thanks a
You
lot,
too.
Ted.
Thanks,
Have a
Ted.
good one too.
Okay, which one do we want to go to next?
Probably just start at the beginning then?
Yep, you bet.
Yeah, I think so.
Start at the very beginning.
In 24.
I'm gonna have these all screwed up
I
by the
have to
time
look
it's
at
over.
pages out and then I've got it, right.
We're still on page 17.
Okay.
So it should just flip page to page and pretty much
Yes.
compare, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now we're on council, right?
Yep.
There we go, okay. All right, yeah.
There we go.
And I don't think we did change anything in the council, did we?
The only thing we changed was the insurance, cause that went up, but otherwise, no, there wasn't really.
Did we add some for election stuff, or did you add more to that, or did you?
That's in its
That'd be under
own,
elections.
That's its own.
its
yeah,
own category.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got its
Yeah.
own, so.
45.
So we can.
Well, yeah,
probably-
last year was almost 46 and this year's 47,275.
Yeah.
So it sure didn't go up much.
I'll make a motion to accept
We can
the,
just approve the whole thing.
Once
in
we're
the
done.
At the
end.
end?
But
I was gonna
we'll
ask if
just
we,
That's
discuss
okay.
let's
some
do.
changes.
Sounds good to me, so I'll check mark that one.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
Now it looks like finance total.
well, we got the contingency fund.
Oh yeah, I missed that one.
Yep.
And Shayla told us that that's 5% of our budget.
It can be up to 5% of the budget, of the total budget, which this year our budget's a lot lower, but that 25 is typically good enough for incidentals. If it's something more major that we wouldn't need to take and do more action on, like coming from unassigned funds, because it's a bigger item. But the contingency is just to take care of all the small overages,
Okay.
so.
Okay.
so,
That,
so to put in perspective, before we get too far along with this, we solved the raise money, correct?
The what, raise? Yes,
Yep, so we have a balanced budget without taking anything from savings
other than the storm shelter for FEMA.
for FEMA, yep, okay. So other than that, storm shelter project, so we're working with a balanced budget without pulling from savings. If that helps anybody when they're looking at all this. That we're not looking for cuts already. We're not expecting to have to make cuts anywhere. It's just,
I don't think so.
so everything's good the way it is written.
it's balanced.
Okay.
Yes, it's balanced without pulling money out of savings.
Perfect.
Other
Right.
than the storm shelter project possibility.
So what do you know about that for cost-wise, or don't you know?
We won't know anything until we have the,
Bids and all that stuff.
We're planned for just 200,000 for that, and that is 15% of the total possible project, but we don't know what that project costs.
And that's not a completely approved project yet?
no.
Our application's due December 1st, so we haven't even actually applied for the FEMA grant yet.
Okay.
But
Sure.
we're working on it on a daily basis.
And we can't until we get the
They're working on all
Yeah,
that. They've got all that
yeah.
taken care of. It's just, yeah. we'll
So
get
the
it in.
contingency fund we're good on. That's standard
Yeah.
what we do all the time.
Yeah.
okay,
Next, it looks like the elections total, which is what Will was asking about.
Yeah, and I think the elections, we didn't change that either, did we, Shayla?
We went up a little bit on the other professional fees in case we needed more workers.
Because last year
Okay.
this
Yeah.
year, didn't we run into trouble with that? Because
Yeah.
we had 3 at the same time.
Well, and I combined them all into one here,
Mm-hmm.
which we can do. We're supposed to have them in each ward, but they would allow us to have them all here, which was wonderful. Because then we only needed 3 workers, 1 from each ward.
We're gonna have how many this year?
3.
3 again,
3
yeah.
for-
It's 3 every year, isn't it?
3 every.
3
well,
if-
then
If
4.
there's-
Oh, 3 and 4?
If
Oh,
there's an
yeah, 'cause
election,
you got the
then
mayor,
nobody
yeah.
will run.
There isn't
Yeah.
always that.
Yeah, there was been a lot of
Okay.
times. we've been-
All right.
So we're good on that.
Yeah.
Attorney total, is that a general round number we do every year?
Actually, we dropped it dramatically over the years. It was up around that 25, but we've been bringing it down because we've been,
Not having to use them.
yeah,
I
it's
like
nice.
it. I like it.
Yeah, it's always good.
We kind of know what we're doing and things flow.
So now we're down to finance total.
And
Leave it
really
out.
all with that would be just the salary increases too, wasn't it?
The
Well, and
audit,
the audit for the,
Oh, yeah, the
Oh,
audit.
yeah.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
That's under the other professional fees, I think?
yes.
Okay.
Okay, so that looks good. Now we're down to buildings total.
Okay.
That's went up 350 250 bucks,
Yeah.
I think that was insurance.
probably, yeah.
And
Because
then-
everything broke out really different in insurance this time, right?
Yeah.
And Shayla was mentioning that we do have, the roof is leaking, so we're
There's
gonna
roof-
need to be thinking about replacing the roof.
Yeah.
Okay.
Changing the style of it, we need to get rid of the flat roof.
Yeah,
Flat roofs
Yeah.
are terrible.
I hate flat roofs.
But it's like it
Okay.
keeps getting little pinholes and then it just,
Yep.
And we already went through the police, so we're good
yeah.
there.
We don't have that, okay, yep.
So now we go over to capital improvement, correct?
fire hall.
18.
Oh, fire hall, okay, it's different. Where did I go? I
There's
went
a back
backwards.
side. Just-
I went backwards, disregard. Fire hall was 29,350,
This is confusing.
and now it's 54, but that was because of the remodel stuff, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
just gotta
other
find
thing
it.
that is possible
That
to
we knew,
discuss.
yeah.
You're leaving me behind here.
and that's in the process of getting done.
Just us
There it is.
deciding if we're gonna
Looks
Go
like
with
this.
it.
go.
That was the
with it.
quote
This
that they
budget-
brought in,
This budget has $24,500 in it for,
expected.
yes, but I don't know that we have actually voted to
No,
do any of
No.
that.
but we
it
just
is-
But as long as it's there,
have allocated it.
yep,
It gives us that option.
yep,
Because there is a bid that was given to us.
Right.
So we know the price for it.
from Scott Gibson, right?
Correct.
I believe, because he had to bring them in right away.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or an estimate, it's not a bid, because they go through a bid process, it's an
Right.
estimate.
estimate quote, yeah,
Yep.
Okay.
cool.
So as long, has anybody been in the fire hall lately?
I don't, I haven't,
I haven't.
I need to,
Maybe need to take a tour.
You
absolutely.
can take a tour of
See
it,
what
but
this floor.
I've
My
heard your word
personal-
for it, so
my
I
personal
absolutely
word is-
trust you 100%,
it is due for the amount of times that gets used by the public.
right?
It is,
Is there a charge for the public when they use that?
I
Well-
wanna say there's a suggested donation.
Yeah,
but
it's a
it is
Yeah,
not-
okay.
we
That's
don't-
what it is.
The fire department does not have a
locked in
fee
Yeah.
schedule. If someone needs to use it, but is from means that they can't pay for it, they do not get turned away,
Yeah,
to my knowledge.
yeah, I know we've used it for reunions and stuff, and they just kind of suggest what, we could donate, or, so that's what we do.
So,
All right,
Okay.
so code enforcement, it looks like we actually went down, huh? $500,
500 bucks.
good job. Other expense, that's,
And the
what
reason
is,
for it went down is
We just, he hasn't been near his meeting as much. I mean, we cleaned
Yes.
up so much stuff at the beginning that it's just kind of more maintenance now.
Okay.
It's not as much.
thinning out the bad stuff?
well, yeah,
He did thin out a lot of bad stuff over the first few years, so.
okay.
And other expense, there's $1,000, what is that?
That's civil defense, and that is like for our sirens repair, if we need something for that. We did have, if you were to look back on your, the full budget, a couple years ago, we used it to clean that creek. The grant that we got from the state, from FEMA, to clean the creek, to prevent the flooding down there,
Mhm.
that was a civil defense. It was a preventative for disaster,
Sure.
basically.
And
And if we
then-
were to get a new siren or anything, that is where we would budget for that, is in that civil defense.
Then we go on to street, and that looks like it's almost cut in half.
That's because of the project on East First.
Right, right.
And we did have, then we also had the equipment of the oil truck. That was,
And Ron has some projects he'd like to do this coming year that he has figured in there, and, I think they were
Capital.
70,000 total, 75, something.
He's got his capital improvement at 70,
70, yeah.
but he still has his asphalt and gravel up there where he can do more.
He can still have some of that. He's got
That too.
gravel, P-rock, all that stuff still included in there.
Yeah, and that gives him the two areas that he's wanted to, for that 70,000 are problematic areas that have probably needed attention for years.
Right,
It's nothing
And you
like-
said some of that's curb and gutter though?
Yeah,
Yeah,
makes
and
sense.
again, not new curb and gutter, it's
Repair,
replacing
repairing it.
stuff that's pathetic.
okay. All right,
looks
In the
like
airport?
down to airport. That went up $1,400. No, yeah, $1,400.
So. I think he added some for conference fees and stuff, hoping that some of you guys would go
Sure.
to the airport conference. So,
If we have a little notice, it's easier.
okay, April of next year in Deadwood.
Oh, that's around my birthday.
That was a good meeting that we went to in Pier.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, I tell you what, it was, you know, if you can get away, and it worked out that we were able to get away in Pier, it
Yep.
was just,
You got
Shayla?
to meet the engineers and.
Can
Yes.
you email me the date?
I will, yes.
And then I'll have it in, I'll just put it in my calendar, put a request in for time off, I'll go.
I would also.
It's the only way I
be-
can do it.
I said also would be hard pressed if, you know, I don't know if, I think they take notice if you're there. I'll just put it that way
Yes, they
with
do.
regard to moving forward with some projects.
Oh,
So,
sure, I believe it.
Yeah, so,
And I have a job now where I'm much more flexible to leave to go to conferences and stuff like that.
I'll just text this, Terry texted me a notice just today, so I'll just text it to all of you guys. so you
Perfect.
can Put it on your
that was
calendars.
April what?
I'm
Don't-
not sure what it is, can't remember.
Okay.
Perfect.
I just know it was in Deadwood again, cause they voted on that.
Health and welfare. Utilities went up, surprise. And that's about it. That's the main thing.
And that's just
A
our
hair
bus
of the
fund.
insurance, huh?
That's
that's
our
the
bus fund,
Okay,
for the Meals on Wheels bus.
okay. And on to the next page.
Ballpark?
Maybe, yeah, ballpark. Gotta get on the right page here. There we go. Ballpark.
Again, they had a big,
79.
the big number there is the hypothetical 200,000 for 15% of, again, kind of a shot in the dark number for that storm shelter project.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Okay.
And then
Sounds-
those are-
No, we're
Look
down.
at the hours that, at 1650, it would have been, which was an average hours, what did we have last year for salary, or this year for salary for Roger?
Where'd it go? It's right here. Must be on the previous page.
I just wanna make sure we are,
7,920.
so,
Yes.
My pages are all
Yep.
jacked up.
so 12,000 is more than sufficient.
So we're good there,
Covered there.
Yep.
Good.
okay?
Pool total. That went up about $9,000.
Well,
And that number there is one that is, that number is gonna keep going through the roof until we get.
Till we get something done. Yeah,
And we,
There's a big portion of that that we are throwing good money after bad. And
Yeah.
At some point, we gotta
and don't we
get
have
behind
like
this thing a little bit harder.
we put in money for a pool heater this time,
Yes,
yeah,
so,
that's a 10,000.
10,000, and that's in the 211 fund, in our bed, booze, and board fund, it's not in this.
oh,
pool
it's
fund.
not
Oh,
in
okay.
this, it's in the bed
This
booze.
one doesn't include that heater, this is,
Oh.
yeah, this is repairs. I mean,
okay.
it's bad. I went and walked it too before they filled it this year and it's horrible.
Oh,
And it just gets worse and worse and worse.
And that's not something that, you know, they can go look at right now and know what it's gonna look like. That's a next spring thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That,
Right.
and
The night and day between now and spring.
Right.
man,
oh, yeah.
It didn't look good last spring, I know that.
I mean, we do really spend a pile of money on that.
Yeah,
We waste a lot of money on it, really.
that's,
We're
More-
just
yeah.
kinda throwing away.
Yeah,
Especially once you figure labor.
absolutely.
Somewhere else.
You go look, you know, you look at pumps, heaters and stuff like that, that now is gonna be brand new.
Yeah,
It is gonna be a waste when we do put a new one in there, cause they aren't gonna use the same stuff, you know,
yeah.
Yeah.
these big expenses aren't long-term expenses, they're gonna be short-lived, we're paying a lot of money for.
They're just polishing what's there.
yeah.
Polishing the pig.
yeah. Shayla and I did have a conversation the other day with our lawyer, and hopefully we'll be able to, you know, move forward or do something with regard to that. That's,
Good.
we'll wait and see, so. Okay,
Oh, looks like we're down to park.
Yep.
yep.
The salary would be the only thing that's changing dramatically, isn't it, there on that one?
Regular salary, yeah, I went up,
Then we got improvements, there's some projects planned out
Yeah.
there as well.
I think those are shelter improvements and some decking on the gazebo.
Gazebo.
is
Yep.
getting pretty bad.
rotted.
Yeah, that gazebo's been down there for quite some time.
The money that's collected there, does that go back into the park so they can add new things like in the playground or, I
Not
know?
really, because it just goes into the general fund, because it's just a revenue on the general fund side.
Because Craig and I did have a discussion about that when he came and talked to me about other things. And, you know, there's things that aren't real expensive that would be kind of fun to have at the park, like cornhole, things like that. So is there anything budgeted for anything like that?
Not for that,
Okay, so we don't have a yearly improvement
for.
for
that-
playground or activity or anything out there?
We don't. It's kind of, if we want a new project, we would budget for it,
Right.
so if we needed a new.
There are things though that get done down there that aren't necessarily a project. That do you require money? Would it be tough to take the money that is generated by the park and keep it with the park? Is that,
Or a certain percentage of it or
Well,
something?
you could say that this amount of money was donated or, fees this year, and you could put it back into it. I mean,
I think
it's
that's
there
a,
for that purpose anyway. I mean, we're bringing it in, so.
it's a good opportunity to get money generated to
Yeah.
make
the
those small improvements.
With that said, there has been some money spent to get the park, or especially the campground, you know, where it is now. I mean, with regard to the
That's true.
All that,
the
yeah.
pads and the
Yeah.
electricity and.
And they're not done with those yet,
I'm
with the
sorry.
pads. They still have some pads to put in
Yeah,
yet.
yeah. If you haven't been down there, I mean, it looks nice.
It
does.
looks very nice.
Yeah. And well utilized too, so, yeah. Okay,
And lots of
Zoning.
good comments on our bathhouse and how the park looks. Whenever they put in their donation or their payment, they almost always leave comments. And
Good.
Christie's got all of those logged if anybody ever wants to see
Gotcha.
them.
It would kind of be fun, it would kind of be nice to even put some of those on our website.
Yeah, we could do that.
That would be nice.
Positive
Absolutely.
things about our park.
All right, zoning
Zoning?
stays at 200, it looks like.
Publishing.
Economic development, we did increase that. At our meeting, we voted for that, right? Promotion of
Promotion.
city total went up $300. It's
That
nothing
one, we
major.
didn't add anything to it for lights. Where were we at with the total? Oh, if you wanted to keep doing Christmas lights a little bit every year, let's see what our revenue to expenses ended up being, I don't remember.
And we'll know going forward to do 4 or 6 at a time because you're gonna save that much on shipping.
Did we get that shipping?
We did.
Yeah, shipping.
Shipping went down.
went
Yeah.
down.
Went down with more?
Yeah.
That's what I
Sure,
mean.
that
We
makes
might
sense.
wanna talk about more than just 2 when you talk about it because of
Yep.
the shipping.
That's a salesman.
Good job, Dustin.
Especially with the shipping
Yeah.
cost is,
Good
yes.
job,
Yeah.
Dustin.
That's just crazy.
All right, looks like the general went down 195.
Which would be the difference between the street basically and the storm shelter.
That's not right. How about 205?
Yeah.
I was wrong, sorry. Well, that's good. Recreation machinery equipment went from 9,000 to 10,000.
Is that where the pool heater is then?
Yep, that's
Okay.
the pool
Pool
heater.
total, yeah. Community center, 48, it went up 12,000.
and that's just strictly for utilities and maintenance.
Okay.
Yep.
And
Economic,
that's the 80% based on the sales tax.
Sales.
The bed, booze, and board sales tax.
Economic development went up. And gross receipts tax fund went up. Capital improvement went from 50 to 70.
That's another design project for, I believe, the service road. And I can't remember what else, but they're doing another design for the next phase that, based on what we heard in here and what we're got planned.
For the airport there?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's that one, and then we go to water total. $686, that went down 85,000?
Yeah, we don't have any projects budgeted in there. 'Cause
Okay.
we don't know if we're gonna start phase 4 or not.
Okay.
If we do start phase 4, those are an automatic supplement because it's state and federal funds, so we can automatically supplement.
Okay. Looks like electric total went down. About 54 grand.
And there's a project that's in there as well for the transmission line that's figured into that cost.
Even with it going down, huh? Nice.
And we did not get the grant that we were hoping for the electric project.
Oh, man.
That did not happen.
It's a bugger.
So now we're at the back page. Sewer. Wow, sewer went down just a little bit.
Yeah, that sewer project's huge, so.
Holy moly, like 1.7 million, is that right? No,
Yeah, the sewer.
can't be. 1.6 million, yeah. It went down a lot.
Yeah.
That's good.
Sewer
But
projects
that's
are
just the
expensive.
project.
Right, right.
The projects are expensive.
So the total overall expenses for 23 is 7,899,922. And then the budget for 24 is 5,990,155. Went down $2 million. I like it.
You'd sell that on the street corner, right?
Well, yeah. That's pretty good when it goes down 25%. That's pretty okay.
So you gotta remember, there's a lot of projects in that
Yes.
$2 million.
I get it, but
Yeah.
that is good.
You wanna go through the revenues as well on page 15?
Yeah, let's see here, I gotta find it. There we are.
There's 15. There's 20, 19, 17. I'm so jacked up with my pages, I don't even know.
It's good since you numbered them. so
Oh, here's
you read it.
15. Let's see.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Did we miss this one?
We did expenses first, so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tax,
Kind of
oh,
went to
sorry.
the back and then working our way to the front.
So taxes total. Gotta find the 23 one. What page is it on 23? Probably backwards somewhere.
It's right at the beginning, I think.
Yeah.
Is that?
Well, let me go to expenses first.
Aha. Is it?
Is
The
it this
two?
one?
It's on page 9.
Oh, man, I'm way off.
Page 9 is 2023.
Let's see.
Holy moly. There's 8.
Is that it?
15 is
9.
2023.
Okay.
All right, 9 and 15, right?
Yep.
Taxes total went up about 165,000 for this year. That'd be good.
And that's our property taxes for the 465.
Alcohol, lottery, building, animal peddler's license and permits total went up $200. Federal grants total, state grants, Zippo.
We only budget those if we know we have a project that we
Sure.
can receive the funds for.
State shared revenue total went up $3,500, sorry. County revenue totals went down $250. Charges for goods and service total went down $4,500.
Oh, that's our airport fuel. We didn't sell near
Not
as
much.
much fuel this year as prior years.
Our rec facility fees total went up 7,000, or is going up 7,000, I should say. Fines and forfeits total, 0. Miscellaneous revenues total went up $8,000.
That was interest.
Okay. And the general total went down about $200,000, $208.50.
That was the state grant for the street over there that was in the 2023.
Okay. Gross receipt tax total fund is gonna go up about $15,000 from 45 to 60. Was there anything else that we missed?
The next page has capital improvement in water and sewer and electric.
Seven, 10.
Page 10, 10?
Like I said, mine are so screwed up right now, I don't know what I have in there.
Hmm. Well,
That's okay, I gotta find mine too.
15, 11,
Here's 10.
10, here we go.
where's 10?
I gotta find it, what is it on the other one?
10 and 16.
Perfect. There we go.
Page.
Guys, find yours?
Yep.
Everybody ready?
Yep, go ahead.
All right, 2013 capital improvement was 47, and this year is 66.
That is our, federal pays 90%, state pays 5%, we pay 5% of any airport projects.
Okay,
And we don't need to transfer anything in because in the 501, I had already transferred a couple years ago and the federal government paid 100% of the last couple projects because of the extra ARPA funds and whatnot we had, so.
nice.
So we have money sitting there waiting.
Speaking of ARPA funds, it's 0 this year. Then we go to water total. 23 is 685,100. This year is 699,800, so that's gonna go up 14,800.
A lot of that is interest. I mean, not much in water meter sales, most of that's interest.
Mm-hmm. Electric total goes from 2,131,500 to 2,568,185.
That is using 240 out of his savings to cover that transmission line and the rest of the meters.
Okay,
So that unrestricted cash in there is his savings account. That brings his budget this year to 0, revenue to expenses.
sewer total last year was 2,231,300. This year is 653,300. That's good. 1.55 million less.
Should be about the same as our expenses. Difference.
Last year, total of all revenues, 7,159,325, and 24 is 5,859,435.
Correct.
Now, if you wanted to compare revenue to expenses, page, what? What's before that, I think?
Which page is that one?
Where's my page number?
You guys have?
I might do it on the paper.
Mine's all jacked up, I don't have it.
Mine's
It's
not-
spread.
Page number 2
Oh, number 2.
is
I have
our
two.
2023.
Well, let's let's see, I can find them.
What's the other one? Probably
On
8,
page
9?
number
There it is.
11, so 2 and 11.
Number 2. That says 2023.
Oh, right here, okay. 2 and 11.
So this just consolidated everything you just went through into one paper.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't have the right page. Here it is.
I got mine all over the place now.
13.
So do I.
13's the new, right?
This one's
2 to 11.
This one's not gonna bend as well as the other ones did.
Yeah, I tore on mine
Well,
off.
my
Should've
13
done this
says
one.
Except for then you'll be looking on.
2024.
2020 papers.
Yeah.
Page 2 and page
This says
11.
2023 and
you
this
should
one
have.
says 2024, and they're the same thing, I think.
Okay,
Okay,
Wait, Tom grab his and then we'll be ready.
okay.
I'm good.
okay, I think we're good.
Want me to go?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, 23, total revenue budget is 2,019,400, and mine are both 23, why is
The
that?
exact same years
Yeah.
up at the
Do
top.
you? Is
Yep.
she?
I have a 2024 on page 13, and then I had the 2023 on page 2.
Yeah, my 2020.
Yeah, 13 is the 2024.
Here we go.
There.
Now the numbers are different.
Yep.
So you're down there twice.
It happens. So 2 and 13,
Yep,
everybody there?
yep, I am, I don't know.
My papers are already messed up. Putting them back together. No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Total revenue, 2013 is 2,019,400, and 2024, we're looking at 1,811,350. Total expenses, budget on 23 is 2,213,412, and 24 is 2,008,720. General total is negative 194,012, negative 194,012. Sheesh. And 24 is a negative 197,370.
And actually, this year, when we get our property taxes, cause right now we're 31,000 in the red for the general fund, we're gonna get half of our property taxes. We might not need to use any of that 194 out of savings. We might be able to cover all of that project over there with our revenue versus expenses this year,
Nice.
because we're only short 31,000 right now, so.
Okay,
We won't be needing that whole 194 out of savings to pay for our part of that street.
Very nice. For, looks like taxes total revenue, 2013 is 45,025, and 2014 is 60,300.
I think you lost 10 years
Did I say 2013?
in 2014.
Well, you know what I mean.
I'll go
I wish
back
I could
there.
go back 10 years, I'm telling you right now.
This
Anywho.
was my first year doing this.
2023 and 2024 corrected, okay? Pool total, 2023, and is 9,000, and 2024 is 10,000.
Which we didn't use any of that this year at the pool. We kinda limped along in our
In,
regular budget, but that heater's not an option. I don't think that's gonna.
can't be limping anymore on that. All right, 2023 economic development budget was 36. This year's gonna be 2024, which is 48. For total expenses, 23 is 45,000, and for 2024, it's 58,000. Gross receipts tax fund total, budget was $25 in 2023, and it's 2,300 in 2024. What's that big difference there? How's that make sense?
This year we've been, supplementing as we're getting more money. So I'm supplementing closer to
what's actually gonna
what
be?
we've actually
Okay.
received.
Okay, I did, that was weird. That was a weird jump to me.
It was.
Yeah. So
Um,
yeah, the 2023 budget includes the supplementations that I've already done.
Okay,
That's not where we started.
okay. Other sources total, 2023 is 47,000. 2024 is 66,500 for total revenue. Airport total expenses 50,000 in 2023, 70,000 2024. Capital improvement is negative 3,000 in 2023 and a negative 3,500 in 2024. Water total 2023 is 685,100. 2024 is 699,800 for the total revenue, and then the water total in 2023 was 771,350, and 2024 is $686,025. For the grand total with the water total of budgeted in 23 is negative 86,250, and in 2024 is going to be 13,775.
That negative 86 that we budgeted was for the water project on that East Fourth Avenue, or East Fourth Street in front of the school. We took that out of savings for the water project.
Okay,
Or we budgeted out of savings, but I don't think we'll have to, that 104 that we're in the hole right now, we're still waiting for state money from our project, so.
good. Electric total, 2023 was 2,131,500. 2024 is 2,568,185. For total expenses, we're at 2,622,960,000. In 2024, we're at 2,568,185. I just read that. Electric total for 2023 is negative 491,460, and 2024 is 0.
And again, our year-to-date for the electric, we were planning on taking out 500,000 for savings to cover our projects, and we're currently in a positive 158, so we haven't had to take anything from savings.
Very nice.
Good.
Sewer total revenue, 2023 was 2,231,300, and 2024 is 653,300. Oh, look at that. That worked out nicely. Pages 3 and 12 now. So, total profit loss. 2023 was budgeted negative 740,597, and 2024 same amount, negative $740,597.
No,
130,007.
214,
3 and 12.
That's 20.
Disregard.
yeah.
2023 is negative 740,597, and 2024 is negative $130,720.
And again, this year, if you look at
backwards.
23, we budgeted 740 in the negative. Right now, we're 60,000 in the negative, but we have not been paid for water and sewer, so we will be in the positive.
Good. Good.
We shouldn't have to take any money from savings for 2020.
That is a good thing.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, I don't know how I ended up reading all that stuff off.
You did a good job, though.
You did a good job, that's.
Good Lord. Point me in the right direction, all I can read, I guess.
I think you found your niche.
I didn't.
You're hired.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think you did a good
So
job.
if you're good with all this, I'll do the ordinance based on these things.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, so that should be.
I would make that motion that we accept this as written with the changes we made. Or no, we didn't make any
We didn't
changes.
make any changes.
That was just with the salary. So I would make a motion, we accept it as written.
Second.
Discussion. I would like to say, first of all, I commend the council, but I really commend our department heads and Shayla for putting this together. You know, they did a super job. I think they had the interest in doing what needed to be done for the community, but also with regard to, you know, what's the best financial avenue to take. And I know Shayla's worked really closely with each of the departments in helping them, and so I just want to, you know, commend all involved. So, having said that, have a motion and a second on the table. Any other discussion?
Do we have to roll call a budget meeting or no?
Nope, not for this.
Okay.
This is just kind of a preliminary. We'll roll call the,
Yeah.
well, we'll do our first reading. We don't need to roll call that, but the
Then do
second reading we will.
Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Now, I will not ask anybody to stick around long enough to put these back together, but I will. So anyway,
Move to adjourn?
Second.
discussion? All right.
Beat ya.
Just pick one.
I
Discuss-
looked at you, I was like,
Oh, we gotta vote yet.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Vote same. Motion carries.
is an hour for this
Nice
meeting
cold
common?
weather.
This part, yeah,
Okay. I was gonna
How
say-
long were you guys here the other night?
not near as long as we were last year. This
Last
was a
year was
little-
like 4 hours.
Yeah, I thought we did pretty good.
Yeah, we didn't have near as much, cause there weren't as many wants this year.
8:45, I think we're out here.
Oh, that's
Mm.
nice.
I left in 9, well, I did a few touch-ups, so
I
Yeah.
said I had to leave by 9, we
Yeah.
left by
Yeah.
9.
Thanks
Yeah,
again,
we
you guys,
left
for
before you
covering
had
for me.
moved, so.
I would
Oh.
have been here, I would have much rather been here than where I was sitting, I promise you that.
Well, and I want to, I'm going to echo that same,
Does anybody fill
you know,
out committee